Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Sarah, and in today's video I'm going to be doing the all about my eyeshadow palettes tag. So I'm not sure who originally started this trend that's going on YouTube, but the girl that I watched, her name is Julie, and I'll link her video and her social media and everything down below so you can go check her out. I'm just basically going to go through, tell you the different categories, show you all of my palettes. So if you are new, you should hit that subscribe button. And if you are interested, keep on watching. So the first category is your newest palette. My newest palette is my Gingerbread Extra Spicy. This is what the outside looks like, and then this is what the inside looks like. I got this one for Christmas. So it's not new, but it's my newest one that I have. And I really like this one because you can do a really soft look, but you can also make a glam look with it as well. And all the shades that I've used blend out really well. The glitters, you can just press in with your fingers or use a brush. But I really like this one. The next category is my oldest palette. My Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Volume 3 is my oldest palette that I have. And it looks like this. I really like this one just to do like an inner glitter shade, and they blend out really well. I find that I can use these ones best by using my fingers, but that's this one. And I'm going to go ahead and link all of the eyeshadows that I can. Some of these are either sold out or I just couldn't find them, but I'm gonna link as many as I can down below for you guys, so you can go down there and get them if you would like. Next is my most expensive palette. My most expensive palette would be my Christmas Cookie House Party. So this palette, if you don't know already, comes in 3 pieces. So it looks like one, but it's just magnetized on these sections. So the smallest section looks like this. And then when you open it, it has these 4 glitter shades and then these 2 mattes. I don't really like the glitter shades at the top just because they're not smooth like most glitters are. These are really rough and I have a hard time applying them, but I still like to use them. And then the top part is the part that I use the most because it has a blush shade, highlight, and then this bronze shade right here. I use this and the blush almost every time I do my makeup. And then the bigger portion looks like this. And this is what the shades look like. I like this palette too. It works really well. The colors blend out really well, and they also are very buildable. For my most affordable eyeshadow palette, I have this one from Maybelline. It is the Lemonade Craze palette. And I really like using this one during the summertime just because of how bright the shades are, and I think they go really well. You could also use some of these browns just for like a nude look or anything like that. But I do really like this palette. The glitter shades work best with your finger, and then the mattes blend out really well. But this is my most affordable. My everyday eyeshadow palette would definitely be my Sweet Talk palette from Colourpop. This is what these shades look like. But I could create any look any day with this. This is a palette I also use quite a bit during the spring and summertime. The colors are very buildable, and sometimes, especially like this color over here, you have to be a little careful because it can go on really dark, so you want to do it lightly, but you can build it really well and they blend out very well. Next category is my most colorful palette. So I have 2 different colorful palettes, but I like this one the best, and it is the Tropical palette by Docolor. And I really like this one because the shades are very vibrant and they pull up really well on the skin. I'll show you. I'll do a swatch. but like that's the yellow shade, and that was just one pull. So the shades show up really well and they blend out really well. So this is a more affordable one than like the James Charles. I think this is cheaper than that. So and it works really well, and you get lots of different colors, and you also get like a bronze shade, a highlight shade, a blush, and then just like a almost like a, it's not translucent, but you could use it as like a setting powder kind of type of thing. The smallest palette I have is from Wet n Wild. So this is when they were doing their zodiac sign collection, and this one is the fire shades. So they look like that. And I do like this palette. The only thing I wish was that there was a matte shade in it, but the shades do come off really well on your eyes and they are very blendable. I just wish there would have been a matte shade in there. The biggest palette I have is from e.l.f. It's, oh, there we go. I'm trying to get it where it doesn't reflect the ring light, but that's what the outside looks like. And then I'll show you these. Oops. These are the shades. And I think this palette is a great beginner palette because the shades, some of them build up really well, some of them are kind of iffy. I haven't used all the shades in here yet, but I think it is great for people just beginning to use makeup because it's a great way for them to learn how to build up shades and blend out the shades really well. The next category is the best memory. And my best memory palette is the Main Squeeze palette from Colourpop. It's like this. And the reason it has the best memory for me is because I had just gotten like my first job and I'd finally saved up enough money and I was able to buy the whole watermelon collection. And so that was like a big deal for me. So that's why this palette has the best memory for me. And it does work really well. These red shades show up very pigmented. Like sometimes you have to be really careful because if you press into them too hard, I'll show you. If you go too hard, it'll be a lot darker than you want it to be, but that is this red shade right here. But that's what it looks like. All of the shades pull very good. Even the shimmery shades work really well, and I've also been able to use a brush with them, but this is the palette with the best memory. The next category is the palette that is worth the hype. So I saw a lot of people get very hyped up about this Dream Street palette, and I definitely really like it. I don't use it as much as I used to when I first got it, but the shades work really well. The darker shades, you're able to like either have them really light or you can build them up. You do have to be kind of careful with the blue shade. It can go on really dark if you're not careful, but I think all the shades are really good. The shimmery shades are really well, and I really like this palette, and it's not super expensive either. The palette for me that was not worth the hype is the Through My Eyes palette. I just had a really hard time with this one. I did use the orange shade a bunch for Halloween, but I had a hard time blending out some of these darker shades. They were just patchy for some reason. I did see a lot of videos where people liked the palette, but it just didn't work out very much for me, so I don't use it very often. But it's a closer view of what it looks like. So for me, this palette was not worth the hype. My favorite palette from my favorite brand would definitely be my Honey palette from Colourpop. I have a bunch of stuff from Colourpop. They're one of my favorite brands. Their stuff is very affordable, and all of their products, almost all of their products, work really well for me. So this is one of my favorites. Recently, like over the past year, yellow has become one of my favorite colors. So this definitely is a palette that I love to use, and I especially like to use this during the summertime or even spring just because the colors are really bright. The last category in this tag video is my most used palette. So I don't know which one of my palettes I've used the most because I use a lot of them just randomly. I just switch out palettes all the time. I'm not really constantly using just one. But this palette has my most used shade in it. This is from Glam Beauty. It's called Glam Nudes. I don't even think you can get this palette anymore. I'm pretty sure this is one of the ones I couldn't find anymore. but I use this brown shade down at the bottom, and I use that shade for my brows. I'm pretty sure I got this palette from Fred's, and so the shades don't work very well. They're not very pigmented, so they don't, and they're not super buildable either. So I just don't use it very much, but when I was doing my brows a bunch with an eyeshadow shade, this shade works great for my brows, and so that is my most used shade. So that is the end of this video. Like I said, I'm going to try and link all the palettes that I can down below. I'm going to just go ahead and leave all the names of the palettes, and then the ones that I can link, I will. And I'm also, like I said, gonna link Julie's channel down below as well. So if you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Like I said at the beginning, if you're new, hit that subscribe button and comment down below any video ideas that you have or what you would like to see from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.